If you are on your spiritual journey and finding that your friends and your family, those closest to you around you, are not supportive, you are not alone. We are in this together. And this is actually a very common issue that people who are new to this phenomena experience. And I can tell you in my own life, it turned everything upside down. It's tough because when it's your friends and family, those closest to you around you, and you're really excited about all the new things you're learning, the new things you're experiencing, it's really tough because you want to tell them, you want to share it with them, you want them to be as excited about it as you are. And it's hard being closed off about something that's really important to you. And the other piece is because spirituality can sometimes be portrayed as woo-woo or weird. And if you're talking about developing intuition or psychic abilities or channeling or any of these other types of abilities, people can think you're crazy or you're hallucinating, which was what my experience was. For me, when I started, it was very extreme. I was an atheist. I didn't believe in anything before. And then all of a sudden, there was like a switch. I started opening up. It was very quick. I have heard from other people that this is very common. I'm not alone in that. The person in my life that was the most difficult or resisted the changes that were happening in me the most was my husband at the time. We're no longer married. And because this was the person in my life I was closest to, besides my children, there was a lot of difficulties. Our relationship became very contentious. Now, it was already contentious before. It was getting worse. And for me, where my situation might differ from yours, is that we already were having a lot of problems in the marriage. We were not supportive of each other. We had a lot of difficulties. And this was just another thing added on to the problems we were already having. But it didn't make it any easier. My first piece of advice for you, if you're in a similar situation where those around you aren't accepting, is to be you. Regardless of what is happening with you, know that it's okay to be you. You are probably not crazy. And if whatever is happening to you is resonating with you and you're getting intuitive hits and it feels like you're on the right path, trust that. It's always really important to trust that. And if you're watching this video, you are probably a people pleaser just like me. This is your sign to stop people pleasing and trust yourself and move forward with confidence. I know that's easier said than done. It is a work in progress, and I am a work in progress in this particular area myself, but setting boundaries, using your intuition to make decisions on how you're going to respond to people is the best thing you can do. The other thing is you don't have to tell everybody everything about what you're interested in. So if those around you, it's not resonating with them, they're saying you're crazy, they're saying you're weird, just don't talk about it. Now, when it's people close to you living in the same house, that becomes a little more difficult because if you're listening to a podcast, you're watching one of my videos or something on YouTube, you're reading a book that has some kind of spiritual topic on it, you don't want to have to hide. So keep it to yourself within reason. I think if you have to hide it completely, that is a red flag for you, in my opinion. However, you don't have to be talking about it all the time and sharing every little thing that comes up with it. I will say, though, that's really hard because if it's new for you, you're excited about it, you're learning things, you want to share things. It's like, wow, I just learned this and I want to practice it, or I want someone to practice with. And you want those close to you to be supportive and to hear you and to feel you. To work around that, find your tribe somewhere else. We have so many opportunities with us, with everything being online these days. Find a Facebook group. Find a local spiritual center. There are Reddit groups out there and lots of different chat opportunities to find those people, connect with them. And there's even opportunities to get in live groups and workshops that you can practice and you can share your experience. And that's what I did, and I found that so helpful. Actually, some of my best friends I met that way and have actually met up in person since then. And it's great because we have that same background, those same interests. And it's no different than having any other hobby. For instance, hiking or painting. And I actually did the same thing for my pour painting. When I got divorced, one of the first things I started doing was picking up painting. I needed something to do when I didn't have my kids on the weekend. I started meeting people online and finding people from watching YouTube videos, and then also meeting people in the paint store, talking with them about different techniques and such when I was looking for materials. If you are in the situation like I was, where my husband was telling me I'm crazy and I was feeling like maybe this isn't the right path for me, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, maybe these signs are telling me that my intuition is wrong, and there was all of this self-doubt that came up. And so the practice was the key for me that helped me keep going, helped me build that confidence, helped me trust myself as I learned the method to tap into my intuition, and as I started to practice and practicing on really good exercises where I would do the exercise, get an answer right after so I could validate whether I was right or wrong. This spoke volumes to me that there is no way that I could have made this up the way that it came through. My first experience doing a reading for someone in a spiritual group I was in, I got this very clear sign, came through clairvoyance in my mind's eye, my imagination, this huge hibiscus flower. At the time, I really didn't know that it was a hibiscus flower. It was just a flower that I have seen associated with Hawaii. I associated that flower with Hawaii. I had this knowing that this person was going to Hawaii. And after I gave what I got to the person who I was doing the reading for, she was like, "Oh my God, I have this lifelong trip I've always wanted to go to Hawaii coming up in a couple weeks. And I'm getting ready for it. I'm a little nervous for the flight." And she started talking about that. And it was like a light bulb went off. I am intuitive. I've got this skill. I've learned how to tap in. I am on the right path. Helped me trust myself. Helped me understand, no, I'm not crazy. There's no way I made that up. I got that validation, and I kept practicing, and I kept getting that validation, and that kept me moving on that path to build my confidence to help me take it further. So this is your sign to keep going, keep at it. You're not alone. We're all in this together, and we are here to support you. If you want to learn how to connect to your intuition in 10 minutes or less, check out this video.